We're live. Countdown. Hello, I'm Willie Bragg. Welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show. I want to discuss something that's kind of been crossing my mind lately, and with this culture war shit, and it's been taken to a new level that I think we should all be worried about, no matter what side of the red-blue divide you reside on. It's time to have a little bit of dialogue with anybody who's reasonable. Now, again, and I call it like I see it, that there were people and are people who more or less are on my side of the fence that are unreasonable and exercise a degree of authoritarianism that kind of puts a bad taste in people's mouth on the other side. Well, the actual people that I really despise on the other side I could give a damn about, but I'm talking about people who would otherwise be sympathetic toward my politics. I could see why they would be put off by this phenomenon that was called the social justice warrior. And no, I am not trying to sound like Tim Pool, and I am not trying to sound like Dave Rubin. Hell, no, I'm not trying to sound like them. So, but I am trying to make a point, and that's the point I'm trying to make. And the point is that I can see where they would be turned off by the judgmentalism and dare I say, kind of an authoritarian streak that it reside among some of them. So there it is. Now, from my perspective, you have to understand those who reside on the conservative end of the spectrum, and I'm going to talk to people who are reasonable. You have to understand why someone like myself would be kind of turned off. Let's see. Hold on a second. You have to understand why people like myself would be turned off by a mindset and a movement from the other side. Because I see unreasonableness, and I see authoritarianism, and I see a movement that's partisan, and all they're concerned about is owning the other side in the great culture wars, and that's all that motivates them. And I see a very mean streak to that other side too, and that turns off people like myself. So I just want to get that out of the way, and that's where I am coming from. So and so I hope that pretty much put a very quick understanding. In other words, I know engages in whataboutisms and both sidisms, and people don't like that, and but sometimes more times than not, even though people don't like it, it's usually the truth, because usually the truth is usually found in the middle. It's not normally in absolutes, one side or the other. And if you always think it's always on one side or the other, what can I say? You're a partisan hack at that point. And there's no reasoning. So, but now Beto O'Rourke, he's running for governor of Texas, and I'm going to tell you that years ago, when I first heard of Beto O'Rourke, and he was running against Ted Cruz, and anybody who knows me knows where I stand on Ted Cruz. I didn't think that Beto O'Rourke was a perfect candidate, but I like Beto O'Rourke enough that he put up an exciting campaign. He gave Ted Cruz a good fight, and he almost unseated Ted Cruz, and that would have been okay if he would have unseated Ted Cruz as a presidential candidate. I thought it was ridiculous that he rushed right away after losing in Texas for him to go rush right away to run for president. Even if he would have became a senator, he should not have run for president right away. He looks desperate. He will never be president. He shouldn't be president because he looks like a cheesy politician in a hurry to be president. Now he's running for governor of Texas, and what is he doing? He's campaigning on culture war bullshit. You know, there are people out there, they think he's a radical far lefty. He's a fucking corporate Democrat that supported Joe Biden. And he, you know, if he was a so-called radical lefty, not that Bernie Sanders is a radical lefty, contrary to what people in the right wing believes and a lot of conservatives believe, contrary to what corporate Democrats believe. Bernie Sanders is not a hardcore lefty. Bernie Sanders is very middle of the road in most countries around the world. But here, the Overton window so far to the right that someone like Bernie Sanders is considered far left. Beto O'Rourke, instead of campaigning for things like Medicare for all and things like that, he's campaigning to take away your AR-15s. In fucking Texas. He's going to go and campaign to take away your AR-15s. To kind of piss off right-wingers? You think you're going to go and win in fucking Texas doing that shit? Beto O'Rourke, you're a joke. You are a sick joke. But that is the Democratic Party's mindset on how they think they can win elections. And that's the mentality of how they're going to exist. They're going to, that's their method of winning. To them, being woke means supporting Medicare for all, supporting, you know, the original intent of Build Back Better, which was, you know, they got scared of the Republican argument. Build Back Better is woke. Build Back Better is woke. Like free community college, which should be free university education included, but free tuition for community college is woke. The lowering Medicare eligibility down to 60 is woke. Prescription drug reforms is woke. Parental leave, maternity leave is woke. This shit is class reductionist as hell. I mean, and that's a dirty word in left-wing circles, but it is what it is. I mean, there's nothing woke about Build Back Better. But, you know, they believe what's his name? Stuart Barney, when he sits there with his little British accent on Fox Business Report, and he talks about Bernie Sanders' woke agenda. I mean, good Lord. I mean, this is the Democratic Party knows how to love to lose. I mean, if there's a political party around the world that wants to know how to lose elections, go to the Democrats. They are great at they can give you pointers on how to shoot themselves in the foot, how to make themselves look bad, how to make themselves just look like dumbasses in elections that they're supposed to be easy to win, and how to, you know, and how to, once you get elected, how to take that momentum and squander it away. And take that opportunity you have to govern effectively and not do what you're supposed to do and get accused of things that you're not guilty of and are not even close to being guilty of, and get your asses defeated and be seen as something you're not in some areas. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So there is that. Let me add this to it, and that is the asshole of the hour, and that is Ron DeSantis, and the governor of Florida, who basically, you know, so he declared war on Disney, and the right wing are just loving this shit, and how ironic it is. This is like the mother of revenge politics. I mean, the Republican Party was supposed to be the party of small government, the party that was supposed to be the party of free enterprise. The party of free enterprise declare war on a business, on free enterprise. It would have been nice if you would have declared war, Governor DeSantis, on anti-unionization efforts of Disney. Oh, no, you don't do that. You go and declare war on Disney over differences of political opinions. Fuck you, Ron DeSantis. Fuck you. Seriously, fuck you. You become president. I thought that the Trump derangement syndrome was over the top, but if you become president, I will be doing everything in my power legally to make sure that all the bad things you're going to do as president will not take place, including making sure by the ballot box you do not become president in the year 2024. So that's all I got to say about that as far as that's concerned. But, y'all were celebrating over this, the businesses, the Citizens United and all of that. And you think corporations are human beings and hands off of corporations, but now you go and attack a corporations. Y'all are a bunch of hypocrites when it comes right down to it. And so you only want small government when it's convenient, but you really want big government when you really want big government. And as I said, I'm going to repeat this talking point over and over because this is a talking point that needs to be repeated when it comes to the Republican Party at the end of the day. And when it comes to the Republican Party, all they had to offer you, because they had nothing to offer but a culture war. There's nothing to offer as far as economics. Tax cuts for the wealthy that most of us will never benefit from. Deregulations of companies, which means in many cases a more dangerous workplace for regular employees. More union busting, which means less rights and less democracy at the workplace. Less unions around because they're almost non-existent. Which means that that the middle class is going to decline more than it's ever been. And let's see what else. They're trying to means test, if not get rid of Social Security and Medicare, which means you don't give a damn about our senior citizens and all of that, or and even things like the VA. What they did during the Bush-Cheney years with my dad, they went and means tested the VA benefits where my dad, quote unquote, made too much money to benefit from it because he was an officer in the military. So this is what voting Republican will do. It basically means that those who don't have much who vote Republican, the only thing it's going to promise is it's going to make damn sure everybody has less. So, and the Democrats, what can I say about them? They're so busy trying to convince Republican-leaning voters that they're just a nicer version of the Republicans. What a messed up country we live in, people. That we have that this DeSantis clown could become our next president. It's not good, folks. It's not good. Not at all. Not at all. If you like what you heard, press like and comment. If you disagree with what I have to say, comment anyway. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it because we're the muckrakers of our time. Feel free to share the content on this channel. Also, subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell. And remember, we have a class struggle we have to wage, a class war, because there's no war like a class war. And we're all, at the end of the day, remember this, we're all Julian Assange. And until next time, I will say, music.